One day, friends, when our portfolios are much higher and we are on top of that mountain, we're going to look down on the kingdom below us. And we'll turn to each other and say, back in the day, I used to work in that McDonald's drive-thru, and now I'm rich enough to order in it. We are going to go through this PulseChain Ecosystem update. I'm going to give you some prices. We're going to see how we're going. The short version is we are long, we are strong. That's what she said. PulseChain Ecosystem thriving. Have a look at all these logos. There are words with these logos, and there are pictures, and there are colors. I know some of these words. This word says pool. Look at all these communities. Each logo here represents a team. There are Telegram channels. There are people gomming out here. They are thriving for different use cases. There are different parts of the ecosystem, different parts of the city. Some cities have schools, hospitals, parks, churches. That's exactly what's going on here. It is building. It's better than just looking at a price chart, but we are going to look at the price chart. The ecosystem is thriving. The city is building. PulseChain does 25x more volume than Pooey. Ticker SUI. It's undervalued by 600%. Not financial advice. You can click sell and you can leave. I don't really care. If you don't like it, get short. You make your own decision. Okay? I don't work for you. PulseChain also does 60x more volume than the XRP chain. How do I know this? I made a freaking 13-page thread and an entire video dedicated to the XRP chain. I went in there, put on my goggles, and went dumpster diving. I enjoyed looking at it. XRP chain reminds me of more like what 2016 would look like, and they're just not catching up. PulseChain, way more volume, way more friendship, way more kindness. If you're in the XRP army, it's not too late. XRP is doing actually okay. I hope you guys go up, but the future is EVM. I'm sorry, Vitalik the alien, he won. PulseChain is real DeFi. PulseChain, if you didn't know, is also free speech. Not that jailed type of speech that we're looking at, all right? Don't forget this, friends, okay? I also love this. Hexilerated. I love that you can still buy eHEX and hold it on PulseChain. This is what people don't understand, okay? eHEX going up would be very good marketing for PulseChain. Why? Because we would tell people, hey man, I got a coin that comes from Ethereum and I buy it on PulseChain. It's cheaper to buy. It goes up. It's doing well. I love it. And it's linked to the ecosystem. If only other coins had the same approach. I like that. Every green candle, you can just attach a narrative. You control the narrative. When a green candle comes up, people want the reason. Look what the reason I would say is. It's not up, by the way, but if it was, eHEX is rallying because people can buy it on PulseChain now and enjoy real DeFi. eHEX is real DeFi. See how easy that is? Straight away. You all know these poopy heads come in. They're like, why? Why are the green candles? Tell me why the candles are green. You know why it's going green? It's because you're not long yet. I love this tag, by the way. Guzzip. PulseChain is real DeFi. Thank you very much, sir. Preach it louder. So I really did have to show you these fundamentals because, look, I know there are many mainstream influencers. They watch this channel. Okay, like, subscribe, press the belly button and all. Maybe one day you'll be lucky enough for me to press your belly button. And they are reporting on Pooey. All right. I'll tell you to your face, friends. I don't care how much you get paid. We, the people, are outsiders. We have been bashed, bruised, stepped on. You've taken everything but our dignity. We're not stupid. Let's zoom in. You see this cute little poopy emoji? Look right under him. Pooey does $1.27 million of volume in a day. PulseChain, which is supposed to be a scam, which is supposed to be targeted by the corrupt SEC, which is rumored to be like the worst thing ever, is 23 times more popular. 23 times more money wants to contribute on an ecosystem where OKEX delisted them. That we are not listed anywhere, Habib. Nowhere. We can only go up from here. We're banned everywhere. They can only unban us from here. DeFi Llama, the owner, comes at PulseChain, you're a risk to the DAI ecosystem. Like, what planet do you live on, bro? You know, DAI depegged itself, had nothing to do with us. In fact, someone who may or may not be a squirrel or a duck, probably a duck, was freaking buying the dip on that DAI to save the whole freaking ecosystem and arbitrage it back. Where were you? Huh? Where were you? You look like a Pooey supporter to me. These numbers aren't made up. That's why I grab them myself. If I was sitting here and people were telling me these numbers, I'll be like, there's no way. Bro, there's no way you guys are doing 24 million and Pooey's only doing 1 million. Because Pooey is on every single mainstream influencer YouTube channel. Because they got paid. They got paid. All right? Well, let me tell you something. These nuts are not for sale. This squirrel is one you don't want to mess with. Pooey doing that little volume is a disgrace. Mainstream YouTubers, you've got to do better, all right? Start covering real DeFi. What do you got to lose at this point? It's a freaking bear market. Everyone's gone anyway. What, you're scared people are going to whinge? They whinge anyway. They whinge. They're going to complain no matter what. My channel gives you the highest value content because you deserve it. I think you deserve it. Why? I made it for someone like me. Hope your elbows are very pointy. I hope you have your fluffy slippers on. I definitely do. I'm tapping them on the floor right now. Don't forget PulseChain, real DeFi. You're never going to forget that. Pooey, let's look at the market valuation. Pooey has a 4.4 billion fully diluted. Bro, who are you? Who are you? PulseChain only has 700 million. Okay? That's weird. That's a big discrepancy. How do we have 700 million valuation only when we're doing like 23 times more activity? Very strange how the world works. PulseChain is undervalued by 600%. Not financial advice. If you don't like it, click sell. If you're going to cry, go buy a JPEG, go winch to somebody else. You know the deal. PulseChain's real DeFi. PulseChain is free speech. Pulse is undervalued to me. If you don't agree, go get short on it using Phiat or Phamous. You can go get leverage short. Go get short. Go take a screenshot and go post it publicly so we can watch you. I pray that you make a lot of money because I want to see you succeed. But you put your money where your mouth is. If you think it's as trash as you say it is. Joni, hi, can you DM me, brother? I don't want to show you my inbox. Okay? I got messages from May. I got messages. It's been too long, friends. We're going to go the full year here, okay? Or thousands of messages. Don't forget about the running campaign, friends. PulseChain must grow and make friends. We're going to have a look at the whole ecosystem. Pulse chart. This is the daily chart. If you look at these little lines, I'll just put the little super trend just so we can like see definitively, are we in an uptrend or a downtrend on the daily? Remember, the super trend's very basic. It just says if you go 3 times the average distance one way, flip it into a trend and just let me know. That's it. This went 3 times the average distance to the upside. Pulse is bullish. That's it. And the dailies can flip. So don't get too excited. Dailies are very untrustworthy. They can flip up, down. Before the weekly flips, the daily usually flips a few times. So don't get your hopes up too much. The 3-day, for example, is pretty far. The 3-day is at 0 point, and then the 73s up here, which is 30% below SAC. The weekly is the real one. The weekly is the real daddy. And you can see, look at the weekly. To flip the weekly, we've got to go cross 20% above day 1 SAC. So you can see, we've got a long way to battle. Don't forget, real DeFi is better than fake DeFi. And baby doll Eric will lose his bet up here. Is it going to happen? I don't know. It would be fantastic for it to happen. It would be glorious. And I think he'll enjoy it too. He'll enjoy a lot of the engagement. And as you can see, everything's correlated. So this is the PulseX chart, which is a real DeFi exchange on PulseChain, which is also real DeFi and free speech. So the daily's flipped. What about the weekly? It's a long way away. I know it hurts. Just to remind you, it hurts. Why? When the weekly flips for PulseX, it's still more than 50% below day 1 SAC. Basically, what it means is somebody who hates you, hates me, hates the ecosystem, hates everything, they can just watch this chart, and when it flips green, they go, ha ha ha, look at you. I literally get to wait all this time. I get to wait for the FUD to clear, and I get a confirmed candle. So that means they don't have to sit in like 6 months of downtrend, and they still get a better price than us. But welcome to life, friends. Life isn't fair all the time. It is what it is. We're just going to wait and see what happens. Of course, this is a very, very pooped chart right now. We're hoping that PulseX recovers. We can have a look at the PulseX to Pulse ratio, which is still in this zone going on. We haven't really done around the bottom. It is in the buy zone, but just be careful. Just be honest, just be careful. It takes a while for the market to realize that the DEX is actually the future. PulseX is a buy and burn, man. PulseX is doing pretty good, man. Like everyone's been throwing it down like it's the worst thing ever. It's not. There's a freaking buy and burn. But the market it's full of just paper hands. That's it. When you're a paper hand cuck and you don't know where your girlfriend's been for like 3 weekends and her best friend, who's a straight dude, drops her home every Saturday night, I understand it's very hard to think straight. But for the rest of us, we're watching this and just, markets can remain non-friendly longer than you can remain friendly. You know that saying. And this is the HEX chart. Of course, they're all the same. They're all correlated, all the same. Yes, I know everybody likes to zoom in onto one. So, oh, this one's got a little higher low and this one's got a little lower low. But, we're going to wait and see how this plays out. I still think that Pulse is layer 1. Pulse is more sexy. So I think Pulse is going to outperform HEX. I know it sounds controversial, but hey, I hope they just range fence. The best scenario is that all the ratios just do this for like 2 years. That would be the best scenario. And also, if you'll excuse me, I have the HEX Pulse chart. Now, I'm going to change it to the ratio so you can see the ratio. This is HEX versus Pulse. I know it went up, but look, man, just tell you right now, a lot of people got offended by this, but I'm going to tell it to your face. Wallet DO1 caused this green spike, okay? He is literally Jim Cramer, all right? I watched his wallet. Wallet DO1 went all in on one thing to make his wealth. He went all in on HEX. He put like 36 grand. I think it was 36 or 50 grand on day one of HEX. And he just fluked it. He just, okay, we just went all the way and that's it. He made his money. He had 150 million at the top. He sold it when it was worth 12 million. So he sold it, most of it, after it was dropped 94%. So he sold most of it all at the lows. Now he has a lot of HEX and Pulse that he sacrificed for as well. He was the one that caused this candle. So just going off the probabilities, like I'm like, okay, you did one ultra moonshot to make 10 to 15 million dollars, and then every other action he's done has been like a complete business, like the wrong move. So by the odds of by the range of probabilities, this might be the wrong move. Obviously, I don't know. Don't quote me. We don't know what's going on. If you want to look at the real move, friends, invert the pair. This is what I look at. I want to look at Pulse to HEX. And if you're looking at this is Pulse versus HEX, right? So if you notice, during this downfall, we were risk off. So what's that mean? It means that risk off is Pulse dropping hard. So just to think, perhaps, not financial advice, if the market goes risk on again, I wonder what that means. Just to let you know, this going up means Pulse is stronger than HEX. That's why I've inverted this pair. I know it's very controversial, friends, but please, obviously, like, just it breaks my heart. The same people saying Cycle 1 coins are better than Cycle 2, they're also the same ones saying HEX is going to outperform everything. No, it's not, friends. Like, you got to be intellectually honest with yourself. HEX has got an identity crisis. And of course, I've got my portfolio in it. I don't want to have an identity crisis. Just got to be honest with yourself when it comes to this going on. Just here to manage expectations. Just don't lose the plot with anything. Hopefully, everything gets carried along the way. Everything you need to know about the ecosystem is right here. Number of HEX stakers. I know it has flat line here during this bear, but hopefully the worst is behind us. If Bitcoin and Ethereum go up, it can only mean better days ahead. Remember, this is all it all comes down to. It comes down to number of people in the community. Total HEX stakers is 159,000. Maybe the total holders, right? I know it says 580,000, but that's not a real number. It's probably 200, 300,000. We don't know, but the way I see it, we're under a million. You know what I mean? Well, we're under a million. Crypto has, to remind you, again, you got to know this, we get 420 million people worldwide. If we are going to 1 billion people in the next few years, that's 600 million people who are going to be floating around. So the PulseChain HEX, PulseX community, we have got to think about, okay, how do we grab just 1 million of that 600 million? That's easy, friends. That's easy. Tell me you can't do that. That's why thepulsetube.com shows you this valuable information with all the YouTubers out here. All of us have a voice, man. You know what team we're on. We're going, hey, I like this team. That's it. This is so much more valuable. What's going to happen with all the numbers are screaming? They're like, yes, I want to get in crypto. And they're like, oh, I got in Bitcoin, but I've held it for 6 months and it's up like 6%. Then they realize, okay, I've actually got to get into the real game, which is real DeFi, free speech. They're like, hey, wouldn't you like something that's not only real DeFi, but also gives you real gains, aka more than 8% per year? Then they eventually find where to go. If you also look at the PulseChain main page, all the meme coins from all the ecosystems, you'll see just a big sea of red. And you could kind of feel it going on, friends. There was a lot of top signals going on. I've been silent just for most of it, just because I know what happens. Just let you know. So you always wonder, why don't you cover it? Why don't you cover it? I'll tell you why, okay? Because every time I cover something, okay, if the chart does this up here, I can make, I've noticed this, okay? I will make a video and I will mention about 30 times in the video, do not touch, not touch, do not touch this, do not touch this, do not touch this. I like the coin. I'll tell you when to touch it. Don't buy it, don't buy it, don't buy it. Anyway, I do a backflip, sit in my squeaky chair, come back a week later, chart does this, and then it does that, and then it goes here. And I make a video again, then I get DMs, and they say, hey bro, I'm in. You said you like the coin. And I was like, oh my God, bro, did you watch the video? I made a video. I said, do not touch it. They go, yeah, but you said like it was looking pretty good. So it doesn't really matter whether we drop like this much on the chart, because I understand where you're coming from. God bless your hearts, friend. I know, I understand. You're looking at this little distance here, not thinking much. But what you don't know is this distance might represent like minus 70%. And in crypto, that's not even enough of a discount. In crypto, you need the full, like, okay, give me 90 to 95% off the top. Then I'll think about it, because it's very reflexive. We're either going up to the top or we're dropping 90%, 95% in all the altcoins. That's for most of the altcoins. That's what happens. That's just what happens. So that's why I don't want to come out and just show these coins, and I never will, because it always ends up in tears. No matter if I say, well, watching this here and there, so we get to see. So I just have an approach of, hey, what I like is, a lot of people, they come and they laugh and they go, ha, 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 I'm pointing at you. Well, let me tell you something. Firstly, you're smelly. And secondly, I like when we're all swimming in pain. Why? Because it means the weekly candles are so far low, you can't possibly ruin yourself for a 2-year outlook, no matter what you do, because it's just so far low. It doesn't even matter. Is there bad news? Is there good news? Is something going to come out? It doesn't really matter. But with these other coins, yes, the difference between 4 hours matters. Friends, I literally went to sleep. I woke up and I was rugged. I went to sleep. Matt Fury changed his freaking logo and I was rugged, man. I literally was like, what? You're telling me if I went for a wee in the middle of the night, I would have been able to get out, but I didn't. I was like, it's a weekend. You know what I mean? So these games are very fickle. That's why I made these videos to share with you how much money people think they have in the altcoin. That's actually the market cap. And then how much bids are actually on the liquidity, which is the doors and the exits. And people are always going to exit when you run out of buyers. Don't forget, we are also going to continue. All right, friends, remember, the campaign is, so we have many campaigns. We have the PulseChain's Real DeFi campaign. We have PulseChain is Free Speech campaign. By the way, you also say PulseX is Real DeFi, PulseX is Real Speech. Same as HEX. Native Trustless Yield, that's Real DeFi. And it's free speech. You mint your own rewards. That is free speech. They all synonymous, all work, right? We are now having another campaign. PulseChain must grow and make friends, okay? It doesn't matter who it is. Go and make friends with them. Stop judging and stop saying that you think someone's a scammer, someone did something left or right. You are irrelevant. We are all irrelevant. We live in a TikTok generation. No one cares about you. Unless you're a hot young girl with boobies, no one cares about you, friends, okay? We are just people trying to make our way through this financial casino. It's a game. They're playing a game with us. We're just little mice running around the maze, okay? We lost some troops. We will recover. We're already rebuilding, okay? This is an order. We've got to recruit as many friends as possible. The winner of the next season of bull market are going to be people who build bridges. Do you understand? Build, build, build. Build, friends, build. The time to fight is at the tops. Okay, that's when you fight. The very, very tops and the very, very bottoms. On the way up, you need to build, okay? The building the bridge, that's very, very important. And if you're out there, Mr. Silvertooth, just know, sir, I know you're always watching down, checking up on us. Remember, PulseChain must grow and make friends. You are my friend. Like, subscribe, bell button on, and catch you in the next one.